What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Dan here, and today I want to make this video basically explaining what I had said during the 7 Days to Die Let's Play video part 1 that I made of the PS4 version of the game. Now, a lot of people, for those of you that watched the video, or even better yet, looked at the comments section and the ratings section, the video ended up getting a bit of notice. Not so much, I mean, it went semi-viral, let's just say, not really viral, but what I like to mean by semi-viral is it got a lot of people talking. If you go over to that video, there are many different comments on the video. Now, I haven't read them all, obviously there's way too many to read them all, but I get the gist of what people are talking about. Now, for a bit of context, why this video is getting so much attention, let me briefly explain. As I play through a game, I make tons of comments, hence the commentary. It's what I do, it's what I'm known for. And when I'm playing a game, I feel like I share my opinions as they come across. So if there's a challenge or something awesome happens or something bad happens, whatever the case is, I react to it accordingly and give my on-the-fly opinions and comments. And as I was playing through 7 Days to Die, it felt like to me that the game wasn't really finished yet. To me, it felt rushed. And it felt like nothing was really all that perfect about the game yet. And it made the experience to a first-time user feel a little bit, unimpressed. So during the Let's Play, I ended up making comments saying things like, oh, this game feels really clunky, there's a lot of glitches, that kind of stuff, just making simple comments about the game, and saying things like, I don't know if I really want to keep going with this series, or I don't know if I really want to keep playing this game, but people are putting words in my mouth and saying things like, oh, you said the game sucks when you know nothing about it. Never said the game sucks at all. I said other words to describe what my opinions on what the game feels like at that present time. But what people don't understand is the people who are saying these things have already had experience with 7 Days to Die. And for those that don't know, 7 Days to Die has been in early access on Steam since 2013. So over 3 years' time, it's been on Steam, early access, where people have been playing, I guess, alpha stages versions of the game where they've been making adjustments and updates as time goes on. That's the awesome part of early access. You can basically have a game at early access, play the game early, way earlier than it's supposed to be, and kind of help the devs work on bugs and fixes and things like that just by playing the game, and they get data that way. It's fantastic. My problem isn't with the game, guys. That's what everyone's freaking out about. You know nothing about the game, blah, blah, blah. I'm annoyed because I played it on the console version. If something is ported from a PC game that's been, in development for years, and it's been ported to an official published and completely, full-on works, it's got the wrapping, it's got the shipping, all that stuff, and it's done and it's ready to go to your homes, to me, that game's done. You'd think that once a game is done and they've been working on getting it perfect in Steam, you think that once it's done, they're like, okay, it's ready, let's give it to everybody. Let's put it on PC, let's put it on Xbox One, let's put it on PS4. And I think that's a great idea. But what I didn't like is that the game was still unfinished, even on the console. That's what everyone was saying. I'm like, this game is not even finished, or it feels broken to me. And everyone's defending it, saying, oh, well, it's still an alpha. It's an alpha. Like, you can't hate on the game because it's not even done yet. I'm like, so if I went into a game store and picked a game off the shelf, and it's in the packaging, it's official, I'm assuming when I pay for that game, I'm getting a finished product. I'm not angry that the game is unfinished. I'm angry that they reshipped it and republished it on consoles in the same alpha state that PC has had for the last 3 years. Obviously, the alpha state has advanced. It is not as buggy and whatnot. There have been a lot of improvements since the original alpha. But why would you bundle an alpha game that is not finished? Why would you bundle that into a finished platform? Why? That's what people keep doing. They're misinterpreting what I'm saying about the game. They're thinking, oh, he doesn't understand it, he doesn't get the game, he's just an idiot, so therefore he can't talk shit about the game because he's not giving it a fair shot. Yet I get people who are, like I had one person say, oh, you're a YouTuber, you can't be biased. I'm like, how am I biased? I go in not knowing anything about the game, and I went in and I played the game, and based on the kind of gameplay I was given from the game, I gave my opinions. That's not being biased. Like, I didn't even know the game was in alpha. You'd assume that once a game got to console and it's been in development for over 3 years, they made the jump. Telltale's like, we're picking this up, we're putting it on console for you guys, we want everyone to play it. You'd assume it'd be finished. That's the point I'm making. But everyone is just assuming that I don't know, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, or they're assuming that I'm shitting on the game and the idea and how the game works, like, or they think that I'm thinking that the crafting part of it is stupid. Like, oh, it's not a regular zombie game, you idiot. Like, obviously. So you can't just give it a bad rating. I didn't give it a rating whatsoever. You can't give it a bad rating just, from your 40 minutes experience and you haven't even tried it or done anything right, and you don't know anything about the game. You can't give your opinions on it. I can give my opinions on whatever I want. A first impression is still an opinion. Just like you're giving me your opinion right now. And I have people saying to me like, it's like, sure, whatever. You could say whatever you want. 5 out of 5 in my book. How can you give an unfinished game a perfect score? You fucking cannot. If I went into, like I said, if I went into a game store and I gave them my money for this game, 7 Days to Die on console, and it was in this state, I'd be furious. People have to remember that repackaging a product that is unfinished is greasy and it's unprofessional. It blatantly makes it seem like the company is only after your money and doesn't care if they're giving you a good product, which hurts me to say because Telltale is amazing. Now, if that isn't true and the game was finished and that was the finished version and I'm still encountering all these bugs, then my opinions are indeed valid about the game as a whole. I haven't had much time to play with the game. It's not my cup of tea. And honestly, as an idea and the concept, I think it's fantastic. It sounds amazing. It's great. The way you can craft, the way that it's all survival based. You can build up your defenses. You're not just building up anything. You have to worry. There's that worry about the zombie horde coming in a week's time. And I think that idea is so cool, which is why I wanted to play it. But in this finalized version of console, and it's shipped at a full price, I'd expect it to be done. I expect it to be finished. If I had known to begin with that the game was unfinished, even in console, I wouldn't have played it. I don't like playing early access games because I believe in getting the final product so I can critique it and give my opinions on it as fairly as possible. I wouldn't have played an alpha version of a game and then shit on the alpha version of the game saying it's a shitty game and all this garbage, which I never said either. I would never have said that if I knew it was alpha. But I would have been commenting on the fact that why would Telltale publish a game that's unfinished? I'm not blaming the devs. I'm not blaming any of that. If the game's unfinished and they're like, well, they could have easily been like, the game's unfinished, Telltale. Are you sure that you want to ship it? And then we should be angry at Telltale. For one, that's a greasy business practice. And for two, it's kind of muddied my opinion on the game based on my first impression with what I thought was a finished game. Do you see what I mean? I feel like a lot of people go in and just because you enjoy something and someone doesn't share that opinion of you, that person is instantly wrong. I don't get that. There are so many games, there's so many films, there's music, and everyone has different tastes. So even if this was finished or whatever and I ended up not liking it and there weren't any bugs, you can't hate me for not liking the same things you like. That's just stupid. Again, never once said the game as a whole was bad. I was talking about the console version. You know what I mean? I was thinking at the time that I was playing a finished game, which is why I was so upset and why I gave it the kind of critiques that I did. But you can't blame me for playing an unfinished game that's been completely packaged to make it seem like it's finished. Why should I have to do a bunch of research on a game? Why does it have to be so complicated to game nowadays? You're saying I'm not allowed to play a game because I haven't done any research on it? Why can't I just say, oh, this looks cool, I like the idea, let's pop it in and see how it is? That's against the law. That everyone freaks out. Now, everyone's entitled to their opinion, including all of you guys. You are all allowed to say whatever you want, obviously. But when I'm allowed to say what whenever I say what I want and I'm getting chastised and made out to be a terrible person. That's the thing. The way people speak in regards to someone talking down on the game that they play every day, it makes them question it somehow, and they're like, oh, well, no, I like it. There must be something wrong with you. Not every game is perfect, but not everybody likes the same games. So you got to really pay attention to what I was actually saying. I'm not a bad person. And the people who said that I'm like, you know, the way they were commenting, it's like the worst thing I've ever said, and therefore I'm instantly an asshole. Don't blame me. Blame the publisher. They put out the incomplete game, which gave someone who's never played it before a bad taste. Obviously, now I know it's an unfinished product. Like, I was angry with the game's, you know, production. But now that I know, the blame is probably solely on Telltale for publishing it in the state, in that current state. But if you don't know, who are you going to blame? The game felt poorly made or unfinished, like I said many, many times. You can't blame me for that. But now that I know, obviously, that's fine. I get it. If it's still in development, it's still in development. It is what it is. Don't release it until it's done. That's the only thing. And for those people, by the way, like talking like we're their people, and I'm assuming he was referring to people who play on console. I actually prefer to play PC. I just didn't look at the game. I thought I was getting a PC code. Turns out I was getting a PlayStation 4 code. Because that's the one they were trying to push. They're trying to push people to play console versions. And if I go on PC right now and it says it's still in early access, I wouldn't have bought the game. Maybe I would have tried it when it was officially done on PC. That probably would have been a better experience. I was reviewing the console version, the console port, not the game as a whole. People, you gotta really pay attention to what people are saying. But that's it for me. I hope you guys understand what I was getting at. I'm not a bad person. I don't know where people are getting this kind of stuff. Just because someone has a different taste in game as you, or you know, there's blame needing to be placed, but I think it's misguided. So anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching, whether you're a subscriber of mine or you're not, or you just came from that video and you want to see my explanation. I appreciate you coming over here. I really do. Honestly, I really feel like because everyone was given a chance to say what they wanted to say, it's only fair that I get to say what I want to say as well. So I still stand by the fact that the game isn't done yet and it needs work. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not the kind of person to play a game in an unfinished state. I prefer it to be finished before I play it. That way I can make honest opinions and fair opinions of a game. So I guess we can blame Telltale for releasing it in the alpha state. That's all I can think of. So anyway, thank you guys again. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think? What do you think about this? Do you think I'm full of shit? Do you agree with me? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? No matter what I say, someone's still going to say anything anyway, but I still want to hear what you guys, what you're thinking about. It's only fair. It's free speech, guys. That's just it. Also, if you're interested, you want to follow me on social media, my links are in the description, so go check that out. Very active on there. If you want to get yourself a shirt or hoodie, there's a link to my Spreadshirt shop in the description as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize if it made it seem like I was hating the game, but don't hate the player, hate the game. In terms of, or not even the game, hate the publisher, I guess the term is, so, at least in this regard. So, anyway, I hope we got this all cleared up. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys later.
Who's the man with the plan? If you feel trouble, wild and wild on these violent and DanQ8000. Wait a minute, hold that stylish style. Damn, goddamn Billy Jack, we still riding tires flat. I hear them sirens, see shots flying, so we driving fire back. If they ain't vibing, lie with that. Got me dressed up in all black. What up? Hood up, and I see them haters try to run with us. They gon' need inhalers. Gotta breathe them hard just like Darth Vader. Players, grab your respirators. Night invaders get lightsabered. Mask on for the shooters, move like trash to bed. Intruder, got that Glock and got them woofers. Just press play, I'll keep it moving. Who is not? Still you damn fools. Keep it fresh like canned food. There ain't nothing we can't do, so tune into that DanQ. Yeah. It was never, ever a game.